The family members and the Tinley Park community should be outraged, in my opinion. We need more activism. We need more people to be outspoken. The Tinley Park residents are just way too quiet. They're just way too quiet. I mean, nothing leads to nothing. If you pressure your police department, maybe this thing would have been solved by now.
This morning I'm heading out to Tinley Park to meet with film director Charlie Minn, who directed the documentary Who Killed These Women, all about the 2008 Lane Bryant murders. This is a mystery that's gone unsolved for 18 years now, and Charlie went through the case, lays it out, talked to family members, people that were involved, and he says he believes this can be solved, that this murder can be solved and the killer brought to justice. So I hope you enjoy my conversation with Charlie Minn.
Cool.
I appreciate you coming out and talking with me.
Sure.
We're here in the mall where this tragedy happened 18 years ago now. But before we get into that, I want to just hear a little bit about you. What's your background?
I was born in Boston, grew up primarily in New York, Long Island, and then Manhattan. I wanted to be a sportscaster. I actually was for about 10 years, but I thought that's what I would be doing for my entire life. But life is funny, it can go in different directions, and I became a true crime documentarian in 2009, and here I am now 17 years later. I have 45 films under my belt.
Wow.
35 of them on streaming, Amazon Prime Video and other major streaming platforms. I used to be a producer for America's Most Wanted. I've also done a lot of acting, so television, film, camera work, being in front of the camera, producing, behind the scenes has always been a heavy interest of mine.
Wow. What was it that brought you to want to, be interested in this crime here?
Yeah, Israel, this one's an easy one. It's unsolved.
Yeah.
You never, ever, well, I shouldn't say never, but you rarely ever see unsolved mass shootings before. This one, for whatever the reason, has eluded capture of the perpetrator. I do put a lot of blame on Tinley Park PD for not solving this. They are the leading agency for this investigation. And for 18 years, they've come up empty. I think that's pathetic. I think the families, I know the families deserve a lot better than this. And it's the same thing year in and year out. They mentioned it on the anniversary on February the 2nd, and the only update is that it's an extra year older. So I think a documentary is an excellent platform to inform, educate, raise awareness, to remind people, to maybe let people know for the first time that right behind me, 5 women were executed and there's no justice.
Yeah, I mean, we're based in Mokena, but this is, 2-3 miles down the road this is our backyard. And so not only Tinley Park residents, but, Matson, Mokena, Frankfurt, this should be concerning to all of us. So set the scene for us. We're here now, what has become a TJ Maxx now, but set the scene. 18 years ago, it was a cold Saturday morning, just like it is today.
Yeah, it happened in February, like we are now. So February 2nd, 2008, right behind me, it was Lane Bryant at the time. A killer walked in a little after 10 a.m. when it just opened. There were 2 employees and 2 customers already inside. He took all 4 at gunpoint towards the back of the store, and 2 more people would come in. He would force those 2 to the back as well, and all 6 would be duct taped. Bras and panties put over their heads so they couldn't see. So they were pretty much tortured. One of them was sexually assaulted. One of them got into a physical confrontation with the killer. And then ultimately, 40 minutes later, if you can believe it, the killer shot all 6 in the head, although one of them moved her head at the last second, and she suffered a graze wound to the neck, and she's the lone survivor. And if people watch the film, her name is Martha. She goes by Marty. I've been trying to locate her for a pretty long time now, really since August of last year when the movie was beginning to get made. I'm still in hopes of reaching her. I feel like I'm getting closer. The tips have been coming in like crazy since the documentary came out.
That's great.
So that's my point about raising awareness through a documentary. You get more people talking about it. I think, Israel, that social media will ultimately solve this thing. I don't think Tinley Park PD will solve it. Social media will. And the online comments have been going pretty bonkers, and my producer and I, we read all of them, and you'd be amazed how many leads we've gotten from those online comments.
So it's amazing to realize this was a 40-minute crime. I mean, this isn't like they ran in, and I mean, that's a long time when you think about 40 minutes.
Right, and what happened during those 40 minutes is quite the question. And when I went to do some Q&As at some of the AMC theaters, I ran into a couple of former Tinley Park police officers, and I've been told by one of them that they didn't even know that it took 40 minutes. So I think what the film does is it totally informs and educates what happened that morning. I think for the most part, if people have heard of this crime, and a lot of them have, it was 18 years ago, so the younger generation probably doesn't know about it. I'm sure their parents do. But for the ones who don't know about this, for the ones who have heard about it, they don't know all the specific details. That's my point. They just know that, something horrible happened inside the Lane Bryant.
And that's the large benefit of documentaries like this, right? That it gets people talking again. Like I mentioned to you before we got started, my sister-in-law was locked down in the Target while this all was going on. You know, she just came down like hundreds of other people did to go shopping on a Saturday morning. And how many more people might have those stories, and you like, and you start to trigger that.
I've been hearing that from a lot of people when I do the Q&As at the theater. I happened to be at the Kohl's that morning. I happened to be at Super Target. But all these different stores, people are telling me I was on my way there or I was in that parking lot. I believe the strip mall was only a few years old at the time. You know, now it's really expanded. Now there's different strips in all these different stores. I'm going to say maybe a third of these stores were up and running in 2008.
Talk about some of your interaction with the families. And what are they saying? Yeah,
that's the tough part here when you deal with loved ones who've lost their loved ones, family members, that is. And I'm actually meeting one of them today after this podcast, this segment with you, for the first time, and that's Connie Woolfolk's family. We have Rhoda McFarlane's family in the film. We have Carrie Chuiso's family in the film. I'd like to get everyone, but can't win them all, I guess. You can't get everybody. And the family, certainly, the ones in the film have certainly added a very important voice. And my films are victim-driven. They represent innocent people who have been murdered along with their families. So we need to hear from them. I avoid the killer's name at all costs in all my movies, although in this case, if I knew the name of the killer, I would mention it because it's unsolved.
If you were in the footsteps of the Tinley Park police or the authorities that are investigating this today, is there something you believe that could be done that would move this towards getting solved?
Well, just the advancement of DNA. I mean, a lot of people have said, I can't believe it hasn't been solved with all the current modern technology with genealogy and whatnot. I'm not a forensics expert, but boy, oh boy, there was certainly some evidence left behind at the scene. There was a struggle with the killer with one of the victims, so perhaps some evidence is underneath her fingernails. The killer walked in with a coffee cup. The duct tape that was used to bound all the victims. Maybe there was some DNA or some fingerprints left on the shell casings. So there's a lot of potential evidence left behind, but because Tinley Park PD, because they don't talk, all of us are left guessing on exactly what evidence was left behind, how much DNA was left behind. Again, without their communication and their transparency, they've made a tough case even tougher. Yeah. And they're only hurting themselves by not communicating.
And was that what you found, is them not really communicating through your process?
It hurt the movie, I'll admit it. Again, I understand you don't want to compromise the investigation. You don't want to reveal anything that only the killer would know. But you can give some information to get people to start thinking and sharing ideas and thoughts. This is my third unsolved documentary that deals with unsolved crimes. And the first two, both police departments in their respective cities were so forthcoming. So for 18 years, Tinley Park PD has come up empty. It's pathetic. It's appalling. The family members and the Tinley Park community should be outraged, in my opinion. We need more activism. We need more people to be outspoken. The Tinley Park residents are just way too quiet. They're just way too quiet. I mean, nothing leads to nothing. If you pressure your police department, maybe this thing would have been solved by now. So if people want to watch the film, The website is thetinley5.com. That's the number 5. That has all the theater information.
And we're going to try, this is Saturday, we're going to try to get this out today or tonight, but this weekend people can still see the film, right?
AMC Crestwood, AMC New Lenox, and also Marcus, Orland Park.
And then after, come on in, Raul, come join us.
Yeah, and then
Raul, thank you.
How you doing?
And then it's going to open on Friday, the 27th of February at the Hollywood Boulevard Cinemas in Woodbridge.
Great. That's a great theater.
Yeah.
And then after that, will it be available on Amazon as well?
Yeah, eventually on streaming. All my films reach Amazon Prime Video and other major streaming platforms. So I like doing the theater run first. That's just traditional.
Yeah.
I'm kind of old school in that manner. And that only creates more buzz for when streaming comes out.
So let's talk a little bit about the reward with Raul. There has been a $100,000 reward up to this point, right? And adding another $50,000, is that right?
Yeah, well, this activist, Raul Montez Jr., who we were bound to meet, has really shown a big heart for this case. Not just Lane Bryant, but other Chicago issues that need awareness. So the reward right now is at $100,000. He's adding $50,000
that's awesome.
To make it $150,000, which is abnormally high. When you look at all the unsolved cases out there today, this one obviously is extremely evil and heinous.
Yeah.
And maybe this will make someone out there spring into action, because $150,000, that could alter someone's life.
Absolutely. What made you want to do this? What brought that? That's a big donation for somebody to make.
First and foremost, I've been on this case as an activist. I've been on TV about it before a few years ago.
Okay.
And I've been raising awareness, and it gives me an incentive now that Charlie's came out with the documentary. And I'd like to see this case solved once and for all, to bring closure and justice to the families, the victims' family members.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great effort. And Charlie, awesome for you to do this. For our community, for this whole community, this should be, hopefully this raises awareness, gets more people thinking, and stirs up some, more, something that brings us to a resolution. Yeah,
I've always said I really look at all the A's: awareness, attention, activism, anger. I mean, all the A's you can think of, straight A's. And we need more people to be outspoken about this, because this is the largest unsolved mass shooting in modern day America.
Amazing. And it happened right here, right here in Tinley Park. So, Charlie, thank you. Best of luck with the film.
Appreciate it.
And thank you, Raul.
Thank you so much.
Stay on the line. Stay on the line. Let me get you to Tinley Park. Don't hang up.
Go, go, go!